Here's another way to organize data from a statistical question. Instead of using a dot plot, you could also use a frequency table, in which case you would write down the responses along the side, the options that they could have answered for the questions. So if I'm looking at question one, students might have said what was their favorite subject in school. So somebody said reading, writing, social studies, math, science. You can tally up how many people said reading, and then you would write down the frequency, which is the number. So how many people said reading? That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would have 5 there. Writing, 1, 2, 3, 4 people said that writing was their favorite. 3 people said social studies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 said math. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 said science. So you could use a frequency table to then find out some of the information, that important information here, to come up with my total number of students or total number of people that were surveyed. 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 plus 8 is 20. 20 plus 6 is 26. So it comes up with a total of 26 people. So out of those 26 people, 5 like reading, 4 like writing, 3 like social math, and 6 like science. So the most common subject that people liked, math had a total of 8. That was the most. So math, we'll say M for math. Okay, the least common subject people like, 3 was social studies. Sorry, Mr. Bradley. Okay, in this survey at least. Sure, not our lovely students. Fraction of the students that like science. So fraction, so you just have to count up your total of 26. So you could simplify that by dividing them both by 2, and you'd end up with 3 over 13. Either one would be acceptable. Okay, so frequency tables are kind of nice to pull out that same information. You're just looking at it another way. Here, over here is example 2. In this case, they have a range of scores that you could fall in between. So, for example, if I had a score of a 56, that would fall in between 50 and 58, and that's that one. Scores were a 68, a 70, and a 72. Okay, it has to fall between those. That's how many people scored between those percentages. 5 people scored between a 77 and an 85%, and 4 people scored between an 86 and a 94. Okay. So some information that I could pull out of that, I could say that the highest score somebody got was between an 86 and a 94. I might not know specifically unless it was up here in the data. If I'm just looking at the frequency table, it doesn't tell me specifically. Median. So if I'm going to look at the median is the middle, the center of data. So I need to know where the middle is. Where does my middle person fall? Okay. I could cross off tallies. That gets really confusing. So I'm going to do that way that I showed you in the last example, where I find the total and I divide it in half, divided by 2. So 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. So I have 13 total people. So if I take 13 and I want to find the middle, I'm dividing it by 2. 2 goes into 13 6 times, which gives me 12, which means I'm left with 1 left over. So I'm going to add it on, and I'm going to make it my 7th data point. I should have 6 on each side. My 7th point is the middle. So if I have 1 there, 4 points. 4 plus 5 gives me 9. I'm past where I need to be. So somewhere in here is my 7th data point. So this would be my median number. My median score would be somewhere between 77 to 85 is my middle. My center of data falls in that range. How many students scored higher than a 76? So it can't be these because those are middle of 76. So it has to be up here. So I would have my 5 plus 4, which would give me 9. And that's how you would read a frequency table.